Hello, my name is Joshua with CD Wellness. This video is going to be a bit of an overview, kind of like a mission statement, I guess. The purpose of this is to, well, in so many words, to reduce unnecessary suffering through focusing on what I call the common denominator, that is the things that help the most people, the most time, in the most situations. The primary focuses that I've been able to acquire up to this point is what is Dr. Berry's Proper Human Diet and the Starting Strength Novice Program by Mark Rippetoe. Those are the two things that I've found that seem to be able to help the most people the largest percentage of the time. So those are the things that I focus on. And I focus on not so much the entirety of the program, which I can in time. If I need to explain things more in depth, I can certainly do that. But my primary focus is on boiling it down to the absolute necessary information, to what is necessary to actually make progress. So, like, a lot of people talk about glycogen and taking seaweed oils and all this other stuff, and that's great if you want to do all that stuff. For me, that's more of a min-maxing thing. Like, if you're really hard into it, go you. I mean, yay for that. But for the majority of people, it's not necessary. For a person to maintain their independence and physical freedom, you essentially need to not have carbohydrates, eat meat. We're not made out of seaweed oil. We're made out of animals. And we can get into the whole, well, cows aren't made out of animals. Yeah, cows have several stomachs. We don't have several stomachs. We process food differently. So we're made out of animals, ideally ruminant animals. So if we intake animals and water and sodium and cholesterol, and well, it's not just protein coming from the animals, you also have collagen and stuff like that. So you're taking all that in, and in the absence of carbohydrates and a mountain of chemicals, your body has all the materials it needs to properly repair it as it needs to, and it has the proper fuels, saturated fats, animal fats. Those are the things that your body needs those are the proper building materials. In the absence of the bad building material, so it doesn't have to spend a whole lot of time getting rid of that stuff. And then what is essentially your body's work time, which is autophagy. It's the time that you give your body to actually do the repairs. If you give your body tons of great materials, like, that's great, but if you don't give your body time to, like, really do the repairs, then it's going to be a very slow repair process. And that's especially important if people are coming from being particularly obese like I did, and they have a lot of loose skin. Your body's going to need to get rid of the loose skin, and to do it, you're going to need a lot of autophagy. On the fitness side, that's the nutrition side. On the fitness side, we have the Starting Strength Novice Program, which is, there are a few workouts that engage the most muscles to allow you to maintain an overall level of strength. So at the basis, if you do deadlifts and you do them correctly, that's really all you need. 90-year-old woman can do a deadlift, right? Now, maybe it's a 5-pound deadlift, but it's a deadlift. And it might take her a little while to get there, you not just throw a bar at her and go lift it. Deadlifts are really technical anyway. So you really need to have someone show you how to do it, or you need to watch a lot of videos and really pay attention, which is what I had to do. But on a baseline, if you do deadlifts, you will never be weak. you'll always have your physical freedom. You'll always be able to move around and do pretty much whatever you want to do. Now, if you want to build on from that, then we have lower back squats, and then we have the barbell overhead press, and then after that, if you want to do some upright barbell rows, those are great. And then you have the bench press, which I strongly advise against doing unless you have a really awesome spotter and safety bars, because I've seen people taken out by a bad rep of a bench press, and it's not fun to watch. So that one's particularly dangerous. Outside of that, I pretty much consider most of it to be vanity muscle, which there's nothing wrong with vanity muscle. I mean, like people like to look good, but doing bicep curls isn't going to keep grandma moving around on her own, right? So that's where that comes from. Yeah, there's, like, if you're trying to make Superman or you're wanting to do Olympics or something like that, then obviously that's not what I'm talking about. So those are the two things that I've been able to find so far that I consider the common denominator for human general health and personal freedom and the mitigation of unnecessary suffering. So that's what I'm doing here. I was just trying to get this information out and maybe put it in a different way that maybe people have heard it another way and it didn't quite make sense to them. Maybe this way I'll make sense to them. Or maybe people don't want all the technical details and they just want, what do I need to do? Well, eat meat, drink water, do deadlifts. Like, that's it. That's pretty well in a vacuum. If you're eating a bunch of donuts and then you eat a bunch of meat, like, there's more processes there. You gotta pretty much only eat meat. And then I know a lot of people's like, oh yeah, I eat lots of meat. I eat meat all the time. It's like, no, you have meat. There's meat there, but that barbecue sauce ain't meat. That barbecue sauce is sugar. So you're not helping yourself when you do that. Another thing I'd like to make kind of like a public awareness thing is there's some misnomers, some misunderstanding. Some people seem to think that exercise helps you lose weight, or it has a great deal to do with your health, and it doesn't. Exercise builds muscles and trains movement patterns. That's what it does. If you're talking about caloric deficits and stuff like that, yeah, technically, but like I said, that's a whole nother level of min-maxing and picking at data. And then on the reverse side of that is that people seem to think that well, now there's a thought there somewhere. Exercising doesn't make you healthy, and nutrition doesn't make you fit necessarily. So nutrition is the intake and essentially how you're allowing your body to run. So yeah, if you're on carnivore, you're going to gain muscle because you're taking in a lot of protein and there's not a whole lot of other stuff. Like, you're not just inundating your body with glucose unnecessarily. So yeah, you can gain a little bit of muscle, and with all the collagen and stuff like that, you'll have a little bit more freedom of movement. But I don't think anyone thinks that eating right is going to make them particularly strong or fit or anything. The primary concern is people saying, oh, just hit the gym and you'll be healthy. No, that's not how that works. You have to have a proper diet. You have to have your nutrition in order. That's how you get healthy. Getting strong is its own thing. So the two are not necessarily interchangeable. Yeah, I guess for a primer, that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I'll see what I can do about answering them as best as I can. I can pull up data if I need to. This isn't some whimsical fancy. I've been studying this since 2018, and I've made myself the guinea pig several times. And to some level, I kind of know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I wouldn't be saying it necessarily. Alrighty. Thanks for watching. Bye.